In this video, we're wrapping up the restoration of this 125-year-old Victorian. We have just a few weeks left. Can we get it done? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome to Polar. I'm Matt, an avid fisherman, outdoorsman, jiu-jitsu black belt, lover of old Toyotas, a maker and builder. Join me on my journey to stop chasing after success and to start following where my passions take me, what I'm calling the path of least resistance. This video is part 4 of restoring a 125-year-old Victorian home. If you haven't, be sure to start at the before so you get an idea of what the house was like before we started restoration. In this video, we have to rebuild some stuff, work on the library, work on the kitchen, get everything here ready for paint, and then a couple other projects throughout the rest of the house. It's Friday night, and we're back. Excited about this one. We are going to restore this old copper sink. My first step is gonna be to hit it with this wire brush, some vinegar, and then some baking soda. Well, if it ain't one thing, it's another. So that is some real crappy something. Clean that up. I guess we're not putting water down that drain. We'll tackle that a different day too. Now we're gonna follow up with some diluted vinegar and a sort of slightly abrasive sponge just to try to get back some of this color. Oh yeah, you can see it already coming through. That's what I'm looking for there. That looks good to me. I really want to take this green out. I'm gonna let that sit for probably 20-30 minutes. And then I got the next round, a little citric acid. Looking way better. I'm gonna do a pass with baking soda just to neutralize everything. And then we'll wash it off. We'll let it sit overnight and check it tomorrow. I do wanna get sort of dark spots off. Obviously the sink bowls are pretty green still, but the top, the patina on top looks amazing. It's the next day. I'm back. I hit the sink with one more layer of vinegar. I think it's looking perfect. I'm gonna wait for it to dry. I'm gonna seal it with the wax to protect it. And then we're gonna build some shelves to go over top of the oven here. I have some cutoff from this butcher block. This is actually covering a window. And I think that it is actually drilled into the frame of the window. So I can't do anything too heavy on there. We're gonna mount that microwave there. I didn't realize that that was what it was. We're gonna work on that, do a couple other things, take out these bells, and then we're gonna take out the creepy camera. So my philosophy has been cut these wires as close to the wall as possible, and then don't tell anyone. Just push them back in there. I don't know where they go, but don't have another solution. They may have hooked up to the servant bells, perhaps. You know, I don't know exactly. It looks like this paint at some point was also yellow. You can see it there. So there's the wallpaper. And then here is some yellow paint. And then there's the plaster on top of the lath. All right, we got the shelves up. I think they look pretty good. It's not like perfect, but it looks good. And I think it ties in the kitchen nicely. Check out how close I am to this thing just fitting right in. Oh my God, it's like centimeters. So what I'm gonna have to do is take an oscillating tool, just cut one of them, do 1, 2, 3, glue the top. While I do wish that we could save this old sink bowl, the new one's in. I think it looks pretty good. It looks pretty period. Slap the box under it just to hold it overnight, let that glue really set. To leave the old rusty can opener or take it out. We're taking it out. These power strips certainly have to go. I don't know how big of a fire hazard they are, but I'm sure they are. I am all for people doing their own repairs, but this is wild. At some point, you gotta realize you can do better and realize somebody's gonna have to go behind you and do better. It is Sunday. We are back at the house and got those doors put on. It's really quiet here. It's nice. Gotta fill in a million holes for shutters. All right, next project for the day is we're gonna take off. We're gonna keep that one. 1, 2, 3, 4 locks, because we don't need 6. Just wrapped up on Sunday. We got the sink waxed. That's quickly becoming one of my favorite things in the house. It was a project I hadn't really planned on, but I feel really good about it. I'm glad I did it. And then back here, took off a whole bunch of locks. So we were down to 2 very strong locks. It's Saturday morning. We tore out this column here. I let it in the before picture. And next steps will be to wrap that bad boy in wood and replace essentially the column going around it. The next thing that we got done was we tore out the upper cabinets in the library, which, man, I didn't realize, but it really, really opened up this room. Lets a lot more light in. The other thing that we realized was they had put foam, like a styrofoam, I'm assuming for insulation back here, and then put plywood on top of it, which I think is what they've been, the same thing they've been doing with these sort of walls in here. I think they're trying to add insulation, which we're not gonna tear those down. We're gonna bump out the trim here. It's Sunday. This has to get done today because they're painting and finishing paint like Monday, Tuesday, maybe into Wednesday. So we're right on the tail end of things. This has to get done because it has to be painted. I'm in the garage with my workshop. It's not set up, but I'm in the garage and I can like use a chop saw and just open the garage door and get air in here. It's gonna be amazing. What I did was make a template of the molding using a piece of cardboard. I'm gonna trace that and then use the skill saw to cut it out. Got the molding cut. In the past, I've been sort of notoriously bad with this little jigsaw, but honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. We'll see how it actually lines up. We might have to do some adjusting. I'm gonna build the columns up in the house just because it'll be easier to have the space and all my tools are up there and I don't feel like carrying them down here. Column built. Got the cutout right there for the light switch. The column is done. It looks pretty good. I gotta admit, I'm not displeased. There's a little bit of a gap here, which honestly I'm not too concerned about because it looks a lot better than it did before. Last project is to carry these bad boys upstairs. We have like vermiculite in the attic, which sometimes was made at the same factory that asbestos was made. So you gotta lay that stuff on top of it so that if it does have asbestos, it doesn't get there. I had to come back on Monday to finish up that column, added the trim on the bottom to cover up that little spot on the floor. I think it looks really good. It is Saturday, 3 weeks before we move in. We're close, paint is done. I'm not gonna reveal that yet. We'll save that for the big reveal. But my wife and I are here today. She's putting in light bulbs for the whole house. She's got some cool ones, so stay tuned. And I am working on light and outlet covers. When they redid the electrical, they put in these button switches, which are period correct and cool, but they left these really odd, mismatched button switch plate covers. And so what I did is I found a seller on Etsy who sold salvaged brass switch plate covers. You can see each one has its own patina, its own character, and we're gonna put those in throughout the house today. So as far as the outlet covers go, was not able to salvage these. So I had to buy these new. So they're a little more fresh than I would like, but they are a brushed brass with no coating on it. So they will patina nicely. I got these from a company called Kyle switch plates. And they were pretty affordable too, which was nice. This plate looks so good next to the screen. I guess you're getting a little taste of the color in here. This switch in the entryway was definitely the hardest to source and the most expensive. Check out these light bulbs. It's Saturday night, I'm back in the house. My wife and I hung this chandelier earlier today. She helped me out. It looks a little sad, we only have one bulb in it. We'll get more, don't worry. Something that I was thinking about today though, was how much time alone I've been spending in this house. And having my wife and my kids here today gave me some new energy and reminded me why I'm doing this. It's about 11:45. I'm about to get out of here. I got all of the outlet covers on. They look great. You can see even the new ones next to a salvaged one. These are gonna end up patinaing really nice. They're doing a great job of bringing the house together. Figured this is a good time to show you some of the work that our contractors have done. They added in this little L cabinet into our kitchen just to make it functional. The next project that we had them do was bump out this piece of trim right here. And if you remember, there was also a gap at the top, and this looks like it should. There's still a little bit of funkiness right here, but nothing crazy. Again, another project I think I could have done something with, but probably it would not have looked this good. Here is my wife's office. You can see they did the same thing here. You can tell a little bit here that it doesn't look original, but they also added this piece of trim at the bottom. It looks a hell of a lot better than it did before. Another project that our contractor did was putting in these two sconces. It needed a light switch, and that electric work was just out of my pay grade. Another project that our contractor did was this beautiful floor in the 3rd floor bathroom. It's Saturday. We have, I think, 12 days until we move. We are right on it. So I have some projects that I have to finish up. We're close, but it is gonna be tight. The first is I gotta get hardware into this vanity. I gotta hook up the drain down there. I have to do the same thing. I gotta hook up the drain on the 3rd floor bathroom. And then the project that I put off until the very end is covering up what is potentially asbestos insulation in the attic. I think that plumbing is probably my least favorite thing to do. And that's mostly because crawling underneath sinks is really not fun. I probably won't do a whole bunch of filming because there's probably gonna be a whole bunch of grunting and a whole bunch of cursing. Why don't they make sinks bigger? Faucet installed after a whole lot of grunting, a whole lot of cursing, and a whole lot of Teflon tape. This stuff is hard to work with, and I should have put it on everything before I installed it. It's the stuff you learn as you go. Looks pretty good. I was proud of what she picked too. She picked a good faucet. There it goes, wow. So what I'm gonna end up doing is actually using the piece that I cut, use the little connector here. I'll put this piece back in here, and you can see we're basically right there. We have a working drain. I don't love this pop up and down drain. It doesn't look super original, but considering that the goal was to save that sink, we were able to do it. We're cutting the water back on. Oh boy, a little nervous, just because. Now we're gonna go run upstairs, check those sinks. When we bought this house, it had one working bathroom. That was the one on the first floor. Hopefully, now we have 3. Oh, brown water. Those pipes haven't been used in a long time, man. Yeah, buddy. Okay, there's cold. Let's see what's going on. Any water? They're looking good. Let's see. Now that toilet is clogged, so we're gonna have to fix that later. Okay, 2 working bathrooms. Time for number 3. This is what I'm maybe the most nervous about because I actually did the plumbing on the sink. Alright, hold on. Let's cut it off. Let's see. Yes. There it goes. And so that brown water is water that's just been sitting in the pipes, and so that's clearing all that out. You'll see now the water's clear. Check this out. We have 3 working bathrooms. We have 3 working bathrooms. This is a big moment. Saturday night, some more plumbing to do. We're doing the shower conversion kit for the 3rd floor bathtub. These directions, by the way, on this Signature Hardware shower conversion kit have been freaking terrible. First of all, nothing is labeled. And then I got everything together. They didn't tell you to put the damn faucet on there, and you can't screw it on with everything else they told you to put on first. So I gotta take this off so that I can turn this damn thing around. Oh man, we are close, but not quite there. So the problem is this piece is too narrow to fit into those holes in the tub. Now what I need is actually exactly this part right here. They can both hook up like this, but this piece here is a 1/2 inch. We need 3/4 of an inch. So we're gonna have to order something or go to the store. We're at a little bit of a standstill. So the other thing they did in this kit was this little part here was actually on here. So it took me probably 10 minutes to figure out that they had just screwed the nut onto the wrong part. So I was trying to flip it all different ways. Eventually I figured it out, but check out this connection to this sweet shower rod. What are we doing? I think this cost, no joke, like $400. And it's just a piece of sheet metal that's wrapped around here. We got the shower rod curtain assembled. I just need somebody to help me hold that up to the ceiling. We got everything assembled, minus just the shower head on the shower conversion. Here's all our miscellaneous. Time to enter the attic. First order of business is going to be to go through all this stuff, throw away trash, and get everything organized. When going through the attic, found a whole bunch of cool stuff, including the soapbox, some old doors, an old shelf, and a whole bunch of plumbing from a past renovation. And of course, a whole bunch of trash. Before moving on to encapsulating all the existing insulation, wanted to make sure it was safe to move around, and so worked on securing all of these boards. You can see it's just a lot easier to get around up here now. You have that junk stuff you're going to trip over. Got a nice pathway. So we're going to start back there, and then we got to make our way down there. Oh boy. On this side, I laid perpendicular just because these were a little more full. And I think that'll do a pretty good job of encapsulating everything, keeping it down. All right, we're done in the attic. Let's go. So you can see how much cleaner, more organized everything is. And this is the back part of the attic, where really most of the work was. So this is faced insulation, which just means it has the paper on it. And I
had to cut these slits in the paper to make sure that vapors could get through, so it's not watertight, because that can lead to mold, which is all that the hardware store had. It's only R13 too, so shouldn't be any risk.
I've emerged from the attic a whole lot dirtier than I was when I went up there. But pretty cool, actually. I didn't hate it. It wasn't terrible. Just a lot of crawling on my hands and knees, which I haven't done in, I don't know, to be honest, since I was a baby. But pulled this old shelf out of there. I think we'll take that to the basement. I'll refinish that at some point. That'll be a future project. And then this cool, really sweet old fixture. I mean, I don't even, it seems like it goes right in the ground, but I don't know what it could, I mean, I guess it's a bath or a shower, I don't know. Maybe it came out of the wall. Maybe it's actually part of that old Victorian shower. I don't know, cool though, very cool find. And then of course, the old soapbox. It says 1873, I'm sure that's not from 1873, but very cool stuff. So all the installation is in. We're done in the attic. The only thing I could not get done this weekend was this damn bathroom. It is Wednesday night. We have 1 week until we move in. So we're close. Got the shower curtain up. Here is the old adapter, and here is the new one. You can see the size and the difference of the threads between these two. Signature Hardware did come through, and their customer service was very good. They've redeemed themselves a good amount in my book by just carrying this part. And the idea here is that this, can go this way, obviously on the other side, so that the fixture can fit in, which is more narrow. One thing I've learned about plumbing these last few weeks is put the tape on your parts before you install them. It's a moment of truth. I cut the water on the basement. I'm gonna cut the water on this guy and see what happens. We got a shower. Oh no, we're getting water over here. It's leaking, it's leaking. No. Right here, we sprung a leak. It's 11:30. I did not get the shower fixed. I'm so close. I think it is this little washer here. I think I probably over tightened it. It got like deformed, and it's not working, so it's squirting water all over. It's Saturday night. We move in 6 days. We move on Friday. This is my last night, not in the house, but doing work on the house. So we have a few small projects. We're gonna do some touch-up paint, fill a couple more cracks. And my goal tonight is just gonna be to take it easy and really enjoy this last night in the house. By the way, it is 5 degrees outside. I cannot make this up. Feels like -16. I am pretty happy with how the house is holding heat. So I was just thinking about, why am I doing this painting? And I think the real reason is I don't want to look at this every day and say to myself, why don't I just paint it when I have the chance? The wind is howling outside. Shutter right here is hanging. Something came off, but it is scaring the crap out of me. It like slams and it sounds like somebody's in the house, or I don't know, it sounds pretty wild when you're in here alone at 9 o'clock at night. When I replace this light switch, there's a small gap, so I caulked it the other day. We're gonna paint it. Before, after. Before, after. Next touch-up paint project, we're gonna paint around that light. My wife and I put that in today. It's cool, man. She bought it, and I'll be honest, I was a little skeptical, but to match this light over here was gonna be tough because, oh, there's that scary window again. Because that light is so funky that you have to have something that can sort of match the funkiness in this library, and it's got the right aesthetic. So is it period? I don't think so, but it also doesn't detract from that, and I think it looks really, really good. She did good. While I was up on the ladder, I was having a memory of painting my childhood bedroom with my dad and my stepmom. She passed last year. I miss her a lot, and how special it was to be up on that ladder thinking about painting my childhood bedroom, being in the house that my kids are gonna grow up in, painting the walls and doing this work. This one's for you, Pam. Miss you, and I love you. Last project. We're back in the 3rd floor bathroom. I cannot get this thing fixed. I tried to find a gasket for it, and the hardware store didn't have one. So that might be a call to a plumber this week. I'm not gonna worry about it now. The bathtub works. Oh man, it is what it is. But we're gonna fill these holes here. We're gonna patch some holes in the wall up there. And we're done. We are done. We're done, we're done, we're done. I'm done. At least for now, until the next project comes up by choice or by force. And there's gonna be a lot of them, I'm aware. But listen to this old house and enjoying the silence before we fill it with 2 rambunctious little boys. And I can't believe this project started just 2 months ago. And this project was about part restoration, part just creating a place where my family can grow up. We got that done, and it feels good. So I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna enjoy a drink, and enjoy the silence. So keep chasing after your passions. Follow along as I chase after mine.